Hello everyone, today I'm going to have a go at upcycling this COVID screening box. Steve and I went to Spain a few weeks ago and we had to order some of these to take with us before they'd allow us back into the country. So this is what this looks like. I am pretty sure I can take this apart as well to make it easier. Here it comes, easier for me to work on. So there we go, that's what that looks like now that I've taken it apart. Now you can probably see we've got a few labels on this. I want to get those off before I do anything else with it, and I'm just going to heat these. Whoops, would help if I had it switched on. Here we go, I've plugged it in. So I'm just going to heat this up just to melt the glue. You've seen me do this before. It's the easiest way to get stickers off, but if you heat the glue up, the stickers should peel off really easily without damaging the box. Here it comes. And so I'll do this with all of them. We've got this one here and we've got a couple of clear ones here as well. In fact, this one was already heated, so there we go. Now of course, because we've got so much print all over this box, I need to find a way of getting rid of that, and I think the quickest and easiest way for me to do it is to paint it. I've also pulled out this postcard here. This is a William Morris postcard. Let me just give you the details. It's called Leicester Wallpaper. Now this is from the Victoria and Albert Museum, the V&A Museum, and that is going to inspire my design. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. I've been through my paint stash and I've decided that I'm going to use one of the Arteza paints. This one here, A137. I've swatched these on both white and black. This is what it looks like on black. It's actually easier to see, and I just think that that colour is just going to go perfectly with my design, so that's what I'm going to use. Now, I've got my paint at the ready. Here it is, the Arteza olive green paint, 137. And I've put some parchment paper down on my table as well to protect it, but I do want to hold my box in place. And you can see I just want to use some blue tack to do that, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. I don't want any of the paint seeping underneath my box. I've put my paint in a tub like this. I might need more, but that's okay. I've got myself a paintbrush as well, and I'm going to start off at the edges and I'm just going to paint, brushing away. Let me just check that that I'm in frame, and this will avoid any of that paint seeping underneath my box. So I'm just going to go around the whole of my box like this, and it will probably take a couple of coats. It's a bit thick actually, and I am going to water this down. So let's give it a spritz with a little bit of water, which should thin it out just a tad. Here we go. And the reason I like this paint is because it gives really good coverage. So there we go. We'll just wipe the excess off on the side of the box. That's better. That's much easier to work with. So I'm just going to keep going like this, as I've said, brushing away from the edges of my box just to avoid any seepage. So I'm going to give this 1-2 coats, however many it needs to cover it. And as soon as I've done that, I'll be straight back. I just want to show you what it looks like after one coat. It really isn't too bad, but I am still going to go ahead and give it another one, just so that I know that it's nice and solid. So the moment of truth, let's lift this up and see if I've managed to get away with not getting any on the other side, and that is pretty good. I've just got a couple of areas here, but I'm really not worried about that. So let's move this out of the way. You can see that I take this down with some sellotape, some scotch tape. So let's get rid of this. Now, I did manage to get some paint on my desk. All I'm going to do is take some isopropyl alcohol and a rag, and I'm just going to wipe it off, and that's come straight off. So let's have a look and see if I can get this box back together. So that folds over like that, and those little pieces slot in there. And then how did this go together? Here we go, just like this, and then that slides in there like that. I'm pretty happy with that. We've got really good coverage, and you'd now never tell that it was a COVID test box. Now this postcode is going to form my focal image on top of the box, but we've still got way too much green, so I want to break this up. Now I've got these two washi tapes here, and these were two that I received from the washi tape shop. They are just absolutely beautiful, and I'll leave the link to this set in the description box below. I'm not sure which one is going to work best, so let me just unravel these. Let's just have a look and see which one is going to work best. I think it's got to be, oh gosh, now I don't know. I was going to say the orange, but the yellow is absolutely beautiful as well. Which goes best on the green? Do you know, I think the yellow is really bright, isn't it? So I know that some of you are probably thinking, oh my goodness me, Nina, that is a lot of green. But the intention was to cover a lot of it up. I'm going to go with the yellow. So let me just pop that to one side. Now this is not traditional washi tape. It's got this protective layer on it. Now I need to be really careful about how I do this. What I'm going to do is cut myself a piece that's the right size, just to go along here like this. Grab my scissors because I don't want to waste any of my washi tape, and I do want to apply extra glue as well to make sure that this isn't going anywhere. So let me just grab some parchment paper again, and I'm just going to use glue stick for that. So I'm just going to peel that backing off, and the protective backing is just to protect the washi tape, the design on the washi. So let's do this. Oh gosh. And make sure we've got plenty on that side as well, because I don't want this coming unstuck. And make sure I've got it the right way up. Let me just move that out of the way. And I'm going to start off by doing the front. So I'm going to centralise that. Of course, with glue stick, I've got a little bit of wiggle room as well. Let me just make sure that I've got the box pressed down properly, so it's nice and straight. I think about that, like that. And I'm just going to use a bone folder just to press that down, and then I'm just going to trim the edges. And does that match my card? It does. So we'll just use a pair of scissors just to remove that excess from around the edge, just like that, and the same on this side here as well. There we go, and just make sure that that's pressed firmly down as well. So that's one side done. So next I'm just going to flip it round, and I'm just going to cut myself a piece here as well, big enough to fit on that side there. And then I'm just going to line it up with this edge here, just making sure that it's lined up with the other side as well. Just needs to go a little bit higher, just like that. And I'm just going to leave that excess for the time being, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing to this side here. So I've got the tape glued down on both sides there, and I'm just going to take the lid off, and I'm just going to, let's see if I can do this, tuck that under and trim that down there like that. And that way I've got it nice and flush to the edges. It's easier on this side here. So that's now nice and neat, and then I can well and truly burnish those edges down like this. This Pritt stick is really nice and strong. So that's what we've got. That tape is just absolutely gorgeous. So now that that's done, I can do exactly the same thing to the back panel as well. My box is decorated all the way round now, and that looks really pretty. I'm happy with that. And so I'm ready to add my postcard. Now, we've still got too much of that green. So I've pulled out this piece of paper here. It's from the Do Crafts Paper Mania set, the Arts and Crafts. It was the one that I was using a few weeks ago when I was doing the ephemera holders. So that's what I'm going to be using. I think that will look absolutely lovely. It goes with the tones in the background. So what does this measure? Because we need to cut this down. I'm going to cut it down to 7 inches wide by, let's have a look, 4 1/4 inches in depth. So 7 by 4 1/4. Isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? Now, I've also found some of this scrapbooking paper here as well. I'll show you where it came from in a second. I'm going to add one of those on either end just to pull in some more of that beautiful yellow. And this came from a scrapbooking sheet here, and I'll leave the details for you on screen. This is a really old one, and I know for a fact it's discontinued. So what I'm going to do now is ink around the edges of all of these, not too heavily, just a little bit, so of all of these sheets. Glue it down, and then I'm going to take the yellow pieces to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew through the stem. You can see I've sewn just down the stem of the flowers, so that's what that looks like. So I'm just going to glue this on. I'll use the art glitter glue for that. This is so strong. Fabri-Tac would do just as well, and in fact I'm going to have to revert back to the Fabri-Tac once this has used up. I've still got loads of it left. You don't need very much, so we'll stick that down a bit in the center as well, not much. Make sure I get it the right way up, and I'm just going to try my best now to centralize that on the box. Isn't that just beautiful? And then finally, I've just pulled out one of my butterflies. These are the homemade butterflies I made. I've got lots of different colours of these. I've got sort of like a greeny one, but I think that that's just probably going to get a bit lost. What do you think? Now that I've done that, I think I actually do prefer that one. It's a bit smaller. Let's go for that. Do I want to ink any more? I don't think I do. So I'm just going to apply some glue just over here like this. I want it to be a bit dimensional, so I'm not going to stick glue absolutely everywhere, and we'll pop that on. And I'm just going to stick something heavy on top of that just to make sure that it sticks. My glue is now dry, and by just applying the glue in the centre of the butterfly, I've still got some dimension, and I just really like that look. Now I had inked on the reverse side of the butterfly so that, you know, if you do see any of the underneath, it still looks nice and neat. I must say, I find this glue here, this is the Art Glitter Glue by, oh, here we go, www.artglitter.com. I just find this really universal. I've tried gluing these butterflies down using Fabri-Tac and 3-in-1 in the past, and I just can't get it to stick. It sticks initially, but then it just comes unstuck. This has well and truly set like concrete. I just think it's brilliant glue. It's expensive, but you only need a tiny amount of it. So, you know, from using it over the last few weeks, if I had to choose between this and Fabri-Tac, I think I'd honestly choose the Art Glitter Glue. So, you know, that's if anybody is wondering. So that is this beautiful box. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And you're probably thinking, well, you know, Nina, what on earth are you going to do with this? Well, you could of course use it and fill it full of different pieces of ephemera to use when you're working on a project, or you could fill it full of goodies to send to somebody else. You know, that is entirely up to you. Now, we had 2 of these boxes because we had to take a COVID test before we left Spain, before they'd allow us back into the UK, and then we had to take another one when we got back to the UK, which had to be dropped off as well. So of course I couldn't resist doing something with the other box, and so this time I've used another one of the William Morris postcards, but I've painted it in, well, in fact, actually, it's grey, but it's more like blue. This is another one of the Arteza paints, and this is Cold Grey A117. It looks nothing like the band here, and I think that's why it's important that you do a colour swatch, because, you know, quite often they're not representative at all, and you can see this one just isn't, but it's just the most perfect blue, blue-grey to go with this postcard. Again, I've used another couple of the swatches from that paper set I was talking about, and let me just show you what it is, because I found the cover which had fallen off. So this is Mambi Sheet by me and my big ideas. I've had this for a long time, and I do think that it's possibly discontinued, but you know, just in case anybody can lay their hands on it from somewhere like eBay, it's got one of these sheets. I think you get 2 of these sheets with these gorgeous little strips in, and I've just simply cut these down on my paper trimmer, and that's what I've used for both of my boxes. So of course the yellow on this one here and the grey on this one here, and I also used more washi tape on the side of this box, and this time I used the orange that I was undecisive about on the green box. I've just lifted the camera up so that you can see both of these together. I think they are just absolutely gorgeous. I do think my favourite is the green though. I just love that colour. But be honest, how many of you were thinking at the beginning, oh my goodness me, Nina, that's an awful lot of green. It's just absolutely beautiful though. Although I do like the blue one as well. So do let me know which one is your favourite. Now, of course, this project here was for the inspiration from around the home and garden prompt that we've currently got going on in the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium. So if anybody's interested in following along with any of our challenges, I'll leave the link to the group in the description box below. Don't forget to go and check out Kylie's video this week. You'll find her link in the description box below, as always. But if you've enjoyed my project today, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, but most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.